Cowboys or Ravens?
I would definitely rather be the Ravens right now.
You're joking.
Don't even.
You're joking.
For real?
You're
Or are you
joking.
trying to get a rise out of Jonathan?
Yeah,
There's no way you actually.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Ravens, I'd rather be.
Straight to the action, there's a lot going on. Trying to lock these predictions down, right? Call me John. I'ma talk to Jared, cause he might keep me calm. Had my top pick for this week, but he bombed. Caleb said he had a weak, but he's strong. Jonathan said he repeat, now it's on. In love with the game, who you got, can I wait? Drop by the dorm, come and watch, it's the babe.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorm Debate Podcast, and welcome to episode 6, our week 5 recap episode. What a crazy week 5. I mean, the first 1 o'clock games were really boring, to be honest. There was only 6 games going on, but felt really boring. And then, freaking the Eagles came out of nowhere and just... I know, I'm sorry, Kayla, I shouldn't have said anything.
Oh, it wasn't out of nowhere.
Okay. Well, I should say the Broncos came out of nowhere, scoring 18 points in the fourth quarter and beating the Eagles and giving them their first loss. So that happened. Then in the 4 o'clock games, we had the Chargers lose against the Commanders. We had the Titans come back in a miraculous fashion to beat the Cardinals in Arizona. So a lot of things happened. We're going to talk about them right now in a game version called Would You Rather. I'm going to name 2 teams, and the guys are going to tell me which team they would rather have right now at this point in the season through week 5. And we're recording this on Sunday. The Bills and Patriots game is still going on, so keep that in mind. But I say let's get right into it. But Caleb, I want you to spit out your kicking stat because I'm sure it's really good. And we've actually been keeping track since week 2 or week 3. There were a lot of missed kicks so far. A lot of kickers have been losing their jobs. Young Wei Koo, miss you. What do you think, or what's your stat for the kickers?
Yeah, I know we talked about it, I think, a week or 2 ago, where I just kind of back of the hand tallied up all the missed field goals. I think from week 4, or week 3, it was like 15 missed field goals in one weekend, which is a lot it's unusual. And there's been some debate. We talked about how kickers are hitting it farther than ever, and the new kick return rules have changed, and that's like how it's changing the full game. Interesting stat. I was like, all right, that's back of the hand statistics. What do the numbers do? So I've been crunching numbers all day, using what little Excel knowledge I have, because I was curious, and I'm like, okay, according to my stats, if I copy paste it and clean the data correctly, last season, in the whole 2024 regular season, there were 178 missed field goals. Sounds like a lot, right? So you'd think we're about a quarter of the way through the season, and for this, right now, we have missed, 47, which puts it at about 26%. So it's like about a quarter of the season. We're at the quarter, but I was like, wait, numbers can lie all the time, right? So I'm like, all right, the numbers by total are acting up, but what about the rate from week to week? And this is what stood out to me. So from week 1 I call it to week 4.3 because I included the Thursday night stats. I was not yet for today. So a little bit into week 4, but for the same period, right? Last year, there were 25 missed field goals in that same period. Okay. For this year, for the same period, from week 1 towards week 4.3, which includes Thursday Night Football, guess how many missed field goals there have been?
50.
50? 50's close.
Is it higher or lower?
Lower.
Okay.
43.
Higher.
45.
Higher.
48.
Lower.
47.
That's it. Bingo. Last year, at the same period of time, there were 25 missed field goals. This year, so far, there was 47, and not counting the ones that happened today. So that means that's actually an 88% increase year over year for the period. So if we're on track, although we are like the 25% of the season, we're due to miss like 40 more field goals, which I thought was really interesting. And it was like, makes you ask, well, what about the range of the distance they're taking? And basically, I did my best to do the numbers, and basically anything over 30 yards, the numbers have improved by like double digits, meaning teams are taking deep shots a lot more often, which I think explains the rate. think of it as there's also some. I don't know if you guys saw some of the stories about how they're getting access to the ball. I think they call it K-balls, like the way they're able to hit these things. So it's like it's an interesting combo of the new rules, the kicking, and it's like all I'm saying is the numbers show that we're gonna have probably more of this. Kicking is gonna be a lot more important, and football. I mean, I'm sure the English are in shambles. Will actually be dependent on football. You know, like how these kickers are doing it, because so many games are coming down to the last second, and the numbers are showing teams are risking it, and the kickers are expected to hit these sniper shots that aren't so much sniper shots anymore. So I was just like, wow, almost a double from 25 to 47 the same period last year. That's kind of unheard of.
Yeah, that's a really cool stat. Thanks for doing that. And I think that we talked about it early in the season that with these new kickoff rules, teams start further down the field. They really only have to get like 2 first downs, and then they're in range. They're across midfield. So when you're at like the 40-yard line, why not take like a 55, 60-yarder? These kickers nowadays, like Brandon Aubrey makes 55 yards look like nothing. So if you have a kicker that can Chase McLaughlin hit like a 60, 65 yarder. So like anybody can really hit a ball on any day, given the right conditions. So I think you're right. We're going to see a lot more of that throughout the rest of the season. And I mean, a lot of people were saying like in fantasy football, like, oh, let's get rid of like kickers. Like kickers shouldn't even be on fantasy football teams. But we have kickers in the NFL. And I think that kickers should stay on fantasy teams. Yeah, it is difficult to predict, but it's also difficult to predict for NFL teams. Like if you have a kicker on your team, that could make or break your week. Like you don't pay this guy that much money, but his foot can make or break your week. And honestly, the same should go for fantasy football. It's not all luck. There is some skill, but also there has to be some chance. There has to be some crazy things that happen, and picking a kicker is one of those things.
Like extra points are still really reliable, but talking about points scored, there was it might have been Jake Moody last year, but I added up all the missed field goals and did the math for fantasy and real life. Well, just fantasy, I guess. So just the field goal, not counting distance. And just off points alone for the team, I think he contributed, opposite of contributed, like missed 31 points worth of points. Which is like
fantasy points. Or are you counting just
real life
3?
points?
Real
just 3
life
points.
Like each 3 that didn't go to his team.
Well, I think
it matters.
Is Ryan Fitzgerald still the highest scorer for the Panthers, the kicker?
I'd have to check. I don't want to do too much. Like I could figure it out. But
3 or something, he was like up.
It might be Rico Dowdle now.
Yeah, now it's gonna be Rico Dowdle.
No, but I think 31 missed points. Other players make 26, and this is not counting. This is only what they miss. Like I think something in real life that I've noticed is we're better at tracking success and not so much of the missed opportunity. So it's like, oh, this guy is the percentage of he missed this many field goals. He made this many points, but like opportunity cost is like what our brains don't always grasp. And like, it was I think 10 missed field goals all of last season. I'm just pointing out Jake Moody because I think it's the highest one on my sheet here. And 1 missed extra point. So that adds up to 31, which is kind of, I see another one was 26. So I think was Justin Tucker. Interesting, but point is, I think football is becoming a lot more football, which is really interesting. I think it's also, we talked about this, the game is getting a lot more exciting because of this. I think you have some people like you're pointing out, John, like pundits, news people, and even fantasy people that was like, this is dumb, we can't predict it. But this is a game, like it's. I think the problem used to be that the field goals and extra points were pretty much always. It felt like they were always made. It was very rare that they missed, and now you get high reward, high risk, and consistency in the middle because most of the variation is from like plus 40. But the fact that they're taking it plus 40 means your team has a chance, and it's just. I think it's exciting, but it's also the trade-offs and makes you wonder how the kicker position will be elevated.
Yeah, and I've also seen a lot more like opening kickoffs go like out of bounds or not reach the 20-yard marker. And that's when people get pissed off. I saw a former NFL player, I think it was Chase Daniels, the quarterback, and he's like, these new kicking rules are stupid because, this team lost because their kicker didn't reach the 20-yard marker. They were off by a yard, and now the team only needs 10 yards to get into field goal range and they win. But now it's adding strategy into the kickoff. Now that just seemed like
a special
team
matters.
You just kick it off into the end zone and that's it. But now there's actually strategy into it, and now people are getting pissed off about it. So there's a lot of strategy into every game. But
I want
to get into this. Yeah, that was perfect, Caleb.
Open it up. Something more positive than the Eagles.
I mean, it's relevant with the Eagles. They blocked two.
Yeah.
They blocked 2 kicks last week.
Special teams units. It's always matter, but it matters even more.
Yeah, McLaughlin had a freaking day today with the Bucks as well.
Yeah.
So let's go into Would You Rather.
Okay.
And like I said, we have 2 teams, relatively the same. I tried to get them close to record-wise or where they are at this point in the season. So with the first 2 teams, we have the Eagles or the Chargers. And just briefly, the Eagles are 4-1. They just lost this week to the Broncos, and the Chargers actually lost this week to the Commanders, but also lost last week to the Giants. So they have lost back-to-back games. So who would you rather be, the Eagles or the Chargers? John, why don't you start this off, and then we'll just go around with our answer.
Yeah, I know it's been really unfortunate for both teams, and not a lot of people saw the loss coming for the Eagles, but I did, however, see that coming. I knew that the Eagles would lose that game. That's why I picked the Broncos as an upset. Look, the Eagles are struggling a lot right now, and I really would not want to be them. There's actually a lot of drama going on between A.J. Brown and the team. I think it's only a matter of time before A.J. Brown is not on this team anymore. And Caleb, I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, everybody always says this. No, it's actually getting to like a pretty bad point because, A.J. Brown was held under 10 fantasy points again. And look, you want one really interesting stat for you guys is that the Eagles, their last 5 drives of the game, 0 points, 3 first downs, 2.7 yards per play. Not only that, but in the previous game that they came back and won, against the Bucks, they had their last 4 drives, 0 points, 0 first downs. Jalen Hurts had 0 passing yards in the second half against the Bucks. He went 0 of 8 for completions. And then this week against the Broncos scored 18 points in the fourth quarter, and the Eagles scored 0, and the Eagles lost the game. So how they're able to close games has not been very good. I would not want to be the Eagles right now. Yeah, they're doing a little bit better health-wise than the Chargers because the Chargers, lost Joe Alt. He's out with a high ankle sprain. Omarion Hampton was seen in a boot, so that's not good. But those are temporary injuries. I think that the Chargers will be fine. They're still going to win, maybe not win the division, but they'll still make the playoffs. I just don't like the feeling that's going on with the Eagles. I mean, Jared, you saw during the game today. I mean, we would switch to Red Zone, would switch to the Eagles-Broncos game, and there'd be like no life. And I don't even hear any fans cheering.
It was really quiet.
I see them pan to fans, and they're just like, I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah. And one thing I would add, I'm not going to give my pick yet, but one thing I would add, the stats haven't updated to this week, but just to know where they are, the Eagles are second to last in passing yards per game and third to last in total yards per game. So, yes, A.J. Brown and Hurts still need to get on the same page, but that whole offense, you just have to look at the whole offense, isn't as clicking as we would think a 4-1 team or a 4-0 team would be. So, yeah, just to kind of add on to that. But so you, John, you say you'd rather be Chargers. Jonathan, let's go to you.
John, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. You seriously would rather be the Chargers than the Eagles? Look, I understand what you're saying, and all the points you bring up, they're valid points. But at the end of the day, the Eagles have talent. They have arguably the best player in the NFL today, Saquon Barkley, okay? Just give him the ball and he can make something happen. They have Jalen Hurts, who can he's athletic, can make something out of nothing. They have super talented receivers. Their defense is great. Yeah, today was a bit of a struggle, but again, they faced a tough Denver team, and I've been saying this. I know they're a tough team. They're a good team because they actually have a quarterback that's disciplined and will do what the coaches tell them to do, but they also have a good defense with Patrick Surtain and all of those people back there. So the Eagles had a tough matchup today, yes, but the Eagles are still in a great place. In terms of the coaching, I've always said this. I'm not a huge Nick Sirianni fan because I don't think he does anything. He just takes the paycheck and depends on his talent. I think if you put him on a different team with not so great talent, he's not going to be successful because he doesn't do anything.
The guy's been to the Super Bowl twice and won one.
Guys, listen. Empty vessels make the most noise. The way he talks smack, he doesn't do anything. The best coach is Bill Belichick.
He has the metal to back it up, though.
I was about to hype you up. This is kind of backhanded, but keep going.
It's not him. It's the talent. That's the benefit of like being. It's just he got lucky. Some people might get lucky. That's fine.
I mean, the Super Bowl is pretty okay. Well, I mean, you're agreeing with.
Yeah. So my point is, yes, I would rather be the Eagles. But I see where John's concerned. For me, I'll be concerned about
there's always a
but. In terms of the Chargers.
Dude, the drama is not good, though.
The Chargers, that they're worse. Like, Jackson Dart, his first start, and you made him look like a prodigy. And people are saying, he's a franchise quarterback. We saw today that wasn't the case. 5 turnovers in a row. 5 straight turnovers. 5.
Wow.
He did that.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
The Chargers made him look like a prodigy. And, people are like, Jackson Dart, yeah. The Chargers struggled against Giants. They're struggled against the NFC East. Giants and Commanders. And don't get me wrong, Jaden Daniels is great. But, like, I thought the Chargers were supposed to, reach a new standpoint with Jim Harbaugh coming back another year. Justin Herbert finally has Madison Bear. Like, they're supposed to advance. But losing to the Giants.
I love how we're using that as like an actual like.
We're like, he finally got a girlfriend. He thought he was
like on our spreadsheet. That's a check box.
The first game, he looked good. He looked unstoppable. I guess because he really wanted to beat. Was it the Chiefs they played? He really wanted to beat the Chiefs. He looked good.
They beat. But
in terms of the Giants,
they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs, and so he looked good. But in terms
of the Broncos, who you just said is a good team.
No, I mean. The Broncos they got him better. I mean, they've got him better.
You know what makes me so happy?
What?
The Chargers get to play the Colts in 2 weeks.
They're gonna get destroyed.
You better pick them as your upset then.
Can they stop the run game?
I'll do that because the Chargers, I'm afraid to say, they're in trouble. If they keep on playing how they're playing, they're in trouble. Because like the Giants, really? Oh man, I don't know. But so Eagles, yes, they kind of laid an egg the second half of the game.
You're not at all concerned. They can come out of it. You're not at all concerned about like AJ Brown.
No, I mean they'll once you start winning, people are happy again. Once you start getting the ball, people are happy again. Terrell Owens used to do it all the time.
That's not a sign of good teammates.
I mean, Terrell Owens used to do it all the time. Like receivers, they want you. Like that's good. He wants the ball. He wants to win because he knows he's good. He wants to use his talent.
They're winning. They're undefeated, and he's complaining. What do you mean?
I mean, the thing is, he was it? If you've seen him play over the past few weeks, when Jalen Hurts gets him the ball, he looks good. All right, he knows how to make.
So why is he complaining?
More yards after catches. He doesn't get enough of that.
They're undefeated. He doesn't care about the team. He just wants the individual.
I'm saying, you're kind of like he's a superstar. He's in his prime still. You need to use him. You saw like if y'all watch the games, he's throwing quarterbacks off. Like he's strong and like he has good hands and can make something happen. I know they're winning, but you got to be creative. Like today, if I was him, I'd be really mad today. You have so many ways to score. Not only Saquon Barkley, but you have him.
On him. There's
use him more.
Surtain's on him.
I think AJ
Brown's what about Devontae Smith?
So they put
Devontae Smith was covered by Riley Moss.
But he got a ton of.
There's different ways. Like I say, if you had Kevin McConnell as an offensive coordinator on this team,
Kevin O'Connell.
Believe me,
he gets Justin Jefferson open. Yeah.
Yeah, so he would get. You have Adrian Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley.
Oh, so you're saying it's Sirianni's issue?
Points?
It's Sirianni's issue because he can't.
Yeah. Sirianni's issue, but I think he can get lucky again because of the talent he has. If you just give him the ball, they'll find a way to make something happen. But ideally, you want a good coach that can make these. Adrian Brown should be. He has the right to be frustrated. He's good. He backs it up. Throw him the ball. He makes stuff happen. But yeah, in terms of the question, Jared. Eagles are in a better position because of the talent. They're just too talented. So I'm surprised John said that. They didn't lose to the Giants. Yes, they laid an egg to the Broncos, but they didn't lose to the Giants.
But the Giants play the Eagles this week, so.
The Giants are in trouble. I think today's game, Jackson Dart lost his confidence. 5 straight turnovers, he lost it because he's already this is actually hard.
He'll bounce back.
I hope so.
I hope not.
Just like
Caleb,
JJ McCarthy.
Why don't you go?
Just like JJ McCarthy.
He just
there he goes.
Jared, you okay? It's not your time yet.
Jonathan has to bring up McCarthy every podcast.
Jared, you okay?
Yep.
This Literally could not have timed it better.
All right,
Jonathan, I like the pick. I don't like the take, but I respect. Like you know ball. Not to say, John, you don't, but I think on this, it's a little biased towards the Eagles hate. Because all right, there are aspects of both. I agree with y'all. First of all, I'm picking the Eagles. Obviously, the way the Chargers. Jared, cut out right when
I can hear you. I can hear you.
No, it's because you're a Chargers fan, right? I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
No, camera keeps freezing.
You're good. I'll keep. Am I good to keep going?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Eagles didn't play well. Jalen Hurts didn't play as well as I needed him to because he did get a few shots on A.J. Brown that were a little overthrown. I think he was avoiding the pick. If they were on, there was one where if he had A.J. Brown and it was on target, it would have been a touchdown. Like, he's targeting him. Other teams are able to get their number one guy, even against when he's paired up against their number one cornerback, open, and they got to do that with A.J. Brown. Wide receivers are a different breed. They are a dependent position. They need to be fed the ball. But what got them to that success, what changed the trajectory of their life, is that mentality that kind of, Jonathan, you were talking about, is like, I can help the team out. I want to do well. And when I'm not involved, the team is suffering. And they're kind of right, you know? I think sometimes that strays towards where it becomes like, all right, you trying to win Super Bowls and win games and still contribute, or you start to kind of chase I don't want to say yourself because it's business, but like you brought up Terrell Owens, like that's a good one. Or I think Stephon Diggs at this point, like kind of bouncing from teams, like he went to the Bills to win, but when the narrative for your team is always like, you got to get me the ball, it starts to hurt the team. So it's like, you got to balance that out. I think A.J. Brown doesn't get enough credit. I think pundits make it more drama-esque because that's what it looks like. They're all saying like, get him the ball. You need to get the ball. He'll leave. And I wouldn't rule out the possibility of a trade. It just depends on what he wants. Like, I think like what he said after the Super Bowl is like, you can say all these things about him, but it's Super Bowl champion A.J. Brown. So I think he has the best shot to do that again with the Eagles. I think the deeper problem was, one, the Broncos have, I think they, even before the season started, top 3 defense. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. And this is why I was a little upset. This is why I was getting rage baited so easily by you guys. Is the Broncos, I thought I drafted Bo Nix in fantasy. Like, their defense is one of the best. Hold on, let me get this going.
Boom. I forgot Diggs used to like.
It's like this is his revenge game. This is his revenge game.
And he's good, you know. But what is it? Oh, the Broncos are a good team. They barely lost the first few weeks. Like, their record doesn't reflect reality, so to speak. You know, I don't think their offense is that as good as their defense, but the defense is phenomenal. The Eagles just didn't play well. I think some of that, though, that's why I said I like your pick of the Eagles, but the take, I think Nick Sirianni at this point to go to 2 Super Bowls, like to win one, like he has the intangibles of a coach. The one thing I was talking to some of my Philly friends about was I wonder if he has the coaching touch of attracting talent, because it's not good for the offense, and especially Jalen Hurts, to keep changing offensive coordinators. And some of that happens when you're the top dog. Like, I mean, the Chiefs have gone through a little bit of that, but like like he keeps getting coaches that you leave in a year. So it's like the same problem I complain about with Baker Mayfield. Is like none of these quarterbacks can develop. I mean, Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl. It's not development. It's just like not catering to him, but like something I was pointing out was like Bill Belichick. I think Andy Reid, to go from one team to another and go to 2 different Super Bowls, 2 different teams, like he might be the best. Bill Belichick I think is also up there. With Tom Brady, what I point out is like he didn't waste Tom Brady versus I think Aaron Rodgers might have had more talent, but Mike McCarthy didn't extract that value from him the way that maybe Bill Belichick could have. You guys get what I'm saying? So I feel like Nick Sirianni is the coach that can, but the coordinators keep like leaving us or not being good enough. And I think, unfortunately, this offensive coordinator is frustrating the all offense, because ultimately you can have the best coaching, but it is players, it is talent. And I'll pick the Eagles because they have both of that, the mentality. They've been there. I'm a little frustrated with who's picking these coordinators who keep leaving us or are being inefficient. That was our problem, I think, the year in our first Super Bowl with this regime, and that the defensive coordinator I was calling out on this podcast. And I think the following year was another defensive coordinator where we had to switch towards the very end until Fangio finally stayed with us. Like, that is one caveat I'll give towards the critique of Sirianni, where it's like, can't keep changing this up. So I think I don't think Hurts is a bad quarterback, because people point that out, the stats. And I'm like, it's weird because he'll play these close games and make some weird throws that I'm like, oh, that's kind of bad. But then he'll clutch up in the Super Bowl twice against Patrick Mahomes. Like, you want a quarterback like that. Like, he's the guy. No question about it. I'm just like, We gotta extract value.
So then basically you're basically just like kind of hoping by the end of the season you're gonna figure it out like you did last year and the year before, like because the passing game just isn't there.
Yeah, and like I mean, I think we as outsiders we tend to hype up. I've heard it said we hype up the bye week, but really I think even the Chiefs last year were like, or there were a few teams where like after the bye they really do reform themselves. So I'm not saying I'm hoping for the bye, but it's possible to reinvent yourself. Is my point. It's hard, but I think that if there's a team that can do it, it's the Eagles. I mean, look at the Chiefs. The way they'll play tomorrow. We're recording this Sunday night, but like one game with Worthy, they looked legit. Like I think the fundamentals of the team are there versus the Chargers. I don't want to dog on them because I picked them for dark horse for so many years, but that's kind of why I'm gonna dog on them. Is like they got to not turn the ball over. They got to win these big games. They got to clutch out. Herbert's got to play the way he did week 1 and 2, like Jonathan pointed out, and they can't fall into like, oh, he's supposed to be good territory. Like he is good, but he's playing like he's supposed to be good. If that makes any sense. So sorry,
yeah, Caleb. Just one last thing, and like a great head coach can do the actual job of the coordinators, and they step in when necessary. For example,
also
Kyle Shanahan, Chiefs versus the 49ers in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. He remember, like if y'all watched it, you got pissed at the defensive coordinator and called the timeout and told him what play to call.
Yeah,
he knew he was about to. You knew
we're not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So Nick Sirianni, if he was that good, he would be able to, pull his pants up and say, "Hey, this is what we should be doing."
I think he gives him a lot of freedom. I think you're right. I think
he gives too much freedom, though.
Yeah, okay. Of all the critiques you guys throw at him, I'm starting to think maybe that's part of it. If he just doesn't know how to pick these. I mean, he picks good coordinators. It's like either 1 year we have a bad offensive coordinator and a good defense, or it alternated for a few years. I like Fangio, don't get me wrong, but it's like we got to stop alternating. Get us some stability, please. All right, Jared. Sorry, I talked for a while, but
no, you're good.
You're picking.
The answer is the Eagles, unfortunately.
Wow.
Just a quick.
What the heck?
A quick thing is like.
What happened?
I'm going to be quick. Basically, Omarion Hampton's injured. Our whole line's injured. Our D-line can't get pressure. Herbert has no time in the pocket because all our O-line is injured. He passed the ball right to Quentin Johnson. He caught it, fumbled the ball. All momentum shifted to the Commanders. And D-line can't get pressure. Jaden Daniels had a cup of coffee in the pocket every single drop back. And it's embarrassing because we don't have Khalil Mack. So that's one of our best players on defense. And then that's pretty much it. On the D-line, there's nobody else. So
you made Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt look like Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, it's just a combination of injuries and bad defensive play.
You can't blame it on injuries.
Shut up, Jonathan. Shut up.
You can't blame it on injuries every time. Everybody's injured.
What about the Cowboys?
Everybody's hurt. Not everybody's injured. Okay.
Ravens are pretty banged up.
Let's go to the Cowboys since
your
camera's so high on the Cowboys. Cowboys or Ravens? Who would you rather be, the Cowboys or the Ravens? John, start us off.
That's easy. I would definitely rather be the Ravens right now.
You're joking. You're joking.
For real? Or are you trying to get a rise out of John?
Are you serious? You're joking about. You're kidding about being surprised about me picking the Ravens.
You're joking. Right? You're about to turn it around. I know you're joking.
Yeah,
there's no way you actually.
I'm just kidding. Okay. Ravens, I'd rather be. Look,
Jonathan looks very confused.
The Ravens. Okay, look who's in the Ravens division. The Steelers, who are getting lucky right now. The Browns suck. And the Bengals, who are terrible, right? The only reason that the Ravens are losing is because Lamar is out. Everybody knows that. Like they have no chance until Lamar is back. So they get destroyed today, but that's fine. They're going to play the Rams next week, and they'll get annihilated by the Rams. But then they get a bye week. Okay, that gives Lamar a month. By the time they play the Bears on October 26th, he would have been out a month. So he's going to be back by that game. They play out of the bye. They play the Bears, the Dolphins. Okay, that's easy. So So they're going to be 3-5. They also play in one of the easiest divisions. The Cowboys. Do you see the Cowboys' defense? They gave up 40 points to the Packers. They gave up. How many points did you allow to the Jets today? Because the Jets are 0-5.
It's like 27. No.
22. How do you let Justin Fields score 22 points? Their offense is terrible. The Ravens are a better team.
Well, I'm afraid to tell you, John, but the Ravens are in utter shambles. Okay,
they're injured though.
Exactly. So you're just saying when Lamar comes back, they're injured. They're
but by the time Lamar
comes
comes back, everybody else will be back.
No. By the time he comes back, they're going to be like their record's going to be.
I told you they're going to be 1-5 and go into the bye. Then they're going to win the first 2 games out of the bye, be 3-5. Then they go from there.
Well, the Steelers are going to win the division. It appears.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Steelers going to win the division.
Steelers look strong,
so they could still make the wild card. The AFC sucks.
They're not going to. Dude, they got embarrassed today. Like. Their second and third strings suck. So even if those guys do come back,
that's fine. You don't usually play.
No. Well, the thing is, those people they can try to come back, but there's no way they can last the entire season when they come back. They're gonna have to depend on second and third strings. And you saw today.
All right. So when CeeDee Lamb comes back, he's not gonna last the whole season.
Well, you said the Cowboys. You're talking about defense. The Cowboys, they're the number 1 offense in the NFL this year, right?
You know who was the number 1 offense last year? The Bengals. They missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, the Cowboys are different. They look good, okay? We tied with the Packers last week, okay?
The Packers suck, dude. Everybody thought the Packers were good. They lost to the Browns. Once you lose to the Browns, you cannot be taken seriously.
The Ravens beat the Browns.
Yeah, the Ravens even did.
Browns have a sneaky good defense. Of all the things wrong with that organization, their defense is just always.
The Cowboys are unstoppable. The Cowboys are unstoppable in terms of offense. Nobody can stop our offense. Nobody. You know why? Pickens. CeeDee Lamb is not even there. Pickens. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Pickens is good.
Williams, Javonte Williams. Oh, Javonte Williams.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Dak is playing out of his mind. The Cowboys' offense is unstoppable.
Guys, you lost to the Bears. The Bears beat you 31-14.
We were trying to that's when CD got hurt. And that kind of threw off the game plan. You know what I'm saying? CD got hurt.
Oh,
but let me tell you this.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, thank you. Let me tell you about this. The Ravens, they're in trouble. Okay, Lamar, he has. The hamstring thing doesn't go away fully. If he comes back in like 2 or 3 weeks, it's not going to be fully healed.
It always does.
It's not going to be it's not going to be fully healed. That's going to linger throughout the season. His value as a quarterback is his legs. Once he loses he's on a pocket pass. You know that. You said hamstring what?
Hamstring typically doesn't bother you if it's a high chance of re-injury, but once he's back, then he's back and he's 100% until potentially it gets re-injured. That's the problem. It could get injured
depends.
Again.
That's the issue.
Is the answer.
I'd rather have the number 1 offense right now that has so many weapons like Pickens.
But your defense is actual like Swiss cheese, though.
Well, as long as our offense scores points, we don't have to worry about the defense.
Oh my gosh, you guys have the easiest schedule known to mankind.
Thank you.
Well, does that make you want to be the Cowboys?
You play in the next 5 games. 3 of the teams you play are Panthers, Cardinals, and Raiders.
Boom.
So John, don't you want to be the Cowboys then? Like honestly,
the Cowboys are gonna go to the NFC Championship.
No, but after that, you got to play Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders.
I can tell you the Eagles.
Oh, you guys are done.
No. Yes. I can tell you the Eagles do not want to see the Cowboys now. They don't want to see them.
We do.
We can score points. They can't.
We do.
We will.
He says they do.
We will. But I mean, all right. Can I give my take?
Yeah.
Because I'm an Eagles fan, but I got to say, I mean, I will pick. I'd rather, between the Ravens and the Cowboys, I'd rather be the Cowboys. And I'm not trying to rage bait John.
What do you say? Wait, hold on. Why?
I'm not trying to rage bait you because
I think you are. Are you mad that I picked the Broncos? It's fine.
That's a separate issue. I actually I agree with Jonathan. Like, the bigger problem, I think, is so much of the Ravens depends on Lamar. And I'm not saying I think the hamstring thing, it depends, is the severity of this hamstring. Even then, we know this. Like, first of all, it's been every year for the past 5 years, they've missed key players because of injuries. There's something in their injury, like their process for rehabilitation, for preparing their players, Something's off because every year we've heard about this.
Let's put him on
the strength
blast.
training. Something's going on.
Find them.
It's been like 5 years of this. Like every year, it's like, oh, they lost their key guy.
It's
the
same with
done.
the 49ers.
I was gonna say, I think we put a strength coach on blast one podcast.
Should we bring it?
Jonathan,
back?
I was like calling them out by name.
Yeah, I think we called them out. I don't know which one. We'll have to look it up.
Okay. I say this as an Eagles fan. There was a few years where we had the same problem, and then you watch still a few years later when we won the Super Bowl. You see there was a van on this parade where it's like the health or the medical part, and they're like the rehabilitation rate was like 100% or something like that stuff. This is why organizations matter. It's like administratively, for some reason, every year the Ravens keep losing people. So even if Lamar comes back, right, the team is still getting injuries or recovering from injuries. And I think what the Ravens haven't learned, and I don't mean to dog on them, but like they needed a complementing talent. Derrick Henry is like that, but I don't think Zay Flowers is like the 1A that they need.
They got DeAndre Hopkins.
He's good, but they don't have a superstar. Like, I don't think you need a superstar.
Well, the Bills don't have
Lamar
a
can't give him the
superstar.
ball that often. That's the issue. He just can't give him the ball that often.
What do you mean? Why not?
Allen's better at elevating all the receiving core because the way he elevates their number, he spreads the ball around so well, that it affects their fantasy numbers.
Lamar's 2-time MVP though.
I know, but regular season, what's the debate is like in the postseason?
No, but we're just saying, who do you want for the rest of the season now?
I think because of the schedule,
Cowboys
I'd rather
or
be the
Ravens?
Cowboys because the Cowboys defense does stink. I mean, factually so, but like they're putting up enough points that they're contenders every game. Like in all the games that you mentioned, John, the schedule.
They lost to the Browns by 17.
Yeah,
that's not even competitive.
No, Browns defense is,
Bears.
good.
I mean, sorry.
Well, yeah, that was again.
What the Ravens?
Lamar injuries matter.
Lamar put up 41 points on the Browns.
I just think fundamentally, I'd rather the Cowboys because my problem with the Cowboys is like, I think the wall is harder to cross because the Ravens get to the playoffs and they don't win. It's the same problems every year with the injuries. With the Cowboys, every year it's like there is hope. Like Dak is good enough to get one of the best fantasy teams. Like he lead the league in passing. Like he's good, and it's like there's something about Jerry Jones just above them. It's like his aura is preventing them from breaking up higher in the playoffs. But they have the talent. Unfortunately, as an Eagles fan, so I'd rather be them. Like that's the easy. That's the problem that's harder to solve fundamentally, but I'd rather be them because it's like, all right, if they're in it and they actually ever show up in the playoffs, they could win. But they just never do for some reason.
Right,
but
so both of these teams have the same issue. They'll never win in the playoffs, so
I'd rather,
doesn't even matter.
If it's either or.
This year, I'm telling you.
Oh my God, dude.
They're good enough to get you to say that, and with merit.
2 weeks ago, you were about to
throw in the towel, but he picked it up.
George Pickens has stepped up. That's
Pickens
stepped up.
Pickens on the Steelers. I loved it. They traded him for some reason, right? I forget. That was Claypool who did the celebration. Sorry, we're getting on. Jared, what are your thoughts?
Did you just have a Chase Claypool pull? That was random.
How did you think
Chase
of that,
Claypool?
No, because
what's going on?
Claypool and Pickens were both really good on the Steelers, and they both left for reasons. And I forget why Pickens left. It was Claypool that did like the celebration that cost them the game.
Right. Against
but
the
I'm
Vikings.
like, I feel like Pickens did something too.
Yeah, he did this. And they was like 10 seconds. Come on, man.
John, you're on an island, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're on
again.
An island.
Told him mid drink.
Chat, somebody help me. Chat.
We'll have to put up a poll. This is interesting. Okay.
Us three had the Eagles, and us three are now.
All right, actually, this
Cowboys.
one I'm more confident in. Like, I think Ravens.
So I'll put it as in simplest terms.
Okay.
So the Ravens and the Cowboys defensively, they both are extremely bad. So
Yep.
We're just gonna say they negate themselves. Which offense would you rather have? Obviously, it's the Cowboys, but let's say a healthy Ravens. Even a healthy Ravens, when Lamar comes back, I'm still worried because Derrick Henry has no excuses, and he's fumbling the ball in clutch situations, and not to mention John Harbaugh. There is a lot of uproar in Baltimore about John Harbaugh and whether or not he should be fired. He may have overstayed his welcome in Baltimore. They all talk about that one Super Bowl, and he's really clinging on to that, like Mike McCarthy, just hanging on to that one Super Bowl he won years and years ago. And people are every year slowly starting to forget that he won that Super Bowl. And there's a lot of uproar with Ravens fans about that. So not only is the defense suck, but the offense is injured. But even when they're healthy, they're not playing well. And then they're blowing fourth quarter leads. And is that John Harbaugh's fault? Probably. Is it Lamar's fault? Probably. Is it Derrick Henry's fault? Yes, it is. So there's just a lot of things that are happening with the Ravens that are not clicking. And to start off this slow, it's going to be really hard to build momentum. The Cowboys, it's interesting because they started off terrible and then they lose CeeDee Lamb. And that's where the breaking point was for fans. They thought, all right, this is Cowboys, you're going to write them off. And I think Dak and Pickens, there must have been a meeting or something. Javonte Williams got on that meeting, and they said, you know what? Screw it. Everybody's counting us out. Why don't we just let it fly? Let it fly, young blood. And that's what they did. You see these throws to Pickens. They're absolutely diabolical. He's dropping atom bombs to George Pickens. They literally just went into a meeting and just said, F it. Let's just throw around the field and see what happens. And it's working. So as much as there's, with the Ravens, you have high expectations. Cowboys had no expectations when CeeDee Lamb got injured. After that point, even Jonathan was like, this season's lost. This sucks. And that's what's propelling them. That's what's propelling them into this new kind of energy around Dallas. You're playing for fun. You're playing free, and you're playing with no expectations. Because with CeeDee Lamb out on paper, you look at the Cowboys and you're like, they shouldn't make the playoffs, or maybe they scrape in. But with the Ravens, it's Super Bowl or bust every single year. Super Bowl bust, Super Bowl bust. And with the Cowboys, that's true. But then CeeDee Lamb got injured. So now there's just this freeness about the Cowboys that I think they can ride later into the season. And they found some in Javonte Williams as well. So I think there's more energy with the Cowboys than the Ravens.
I agree. That's a good take, Jared. Right now, but I think you guys are overhyping them a little bit too much. I know they're scoring a lot of points. Trust me, I recommended Dak Prescott to a lot of people to draft in fantasy. But look, the only two teams that the Cowboys have beat,
and they only have one win total. I know.
No, the Cowboys have 2 wins, but they played the Jets and the Giants. Those are the only 2. Yeah, they're combined 1-9.
Yeah. But the Ravens, what are we doing? The Ravens beat the Browns, and that's only 1 win.
Yeah, thank you.
What? The Ravens have... Oh, shit. Well, they did put up 41 points on them. they did put up 41
They're both
points.
Equally bad. This is a good.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Honestly, I think the Pickens. Badness. I think Pickens, honestly, guys, this is wild, but I think Pickens is better than CeeDee Lamb talent-wise.
Okay, what's the next topic, please?
We can't stray too far into this.
Pickens needs
Would
to be the
you rather
guy.
Pickens or CeeDee Lamb? That's not even close, dude.
Pickens.
Fantasy-wise?
Dude, what are you on? What are you on?
Give him more targets.
Why are you in love with this man after 1 game?
I'm telling you,
chill. The guy's good, but he's not that good.
I tell you guys, I should be an NFL scout. I can see talent when I
CeeDee Lamb, chat, help me out. CeeDee Lamb's way better.
We'll have to put up a poll.
Dude, CeeDee Lamb gets a lot of targets. That's why you just look at the fantasy numbers. Look at the actual gameplay. Pickens needs more opportunities. He's a better talent than CeeDee Lamb, in my opinion.
That is so wrong.
I can't wait to clip this.
The Pickens is you run into AJ Brown a little bit with size. But CeeDee wasn't the critique for years, CeeDee was dropping the balls he was the superstar. But
so did Pickens. But
we should have won the first game. We should have won the first game.
Guy. Pickens
has to keep it consistent. That is
he doesn't keep his cool.
Pickens has always been that guy. He was on Steelers. They didn't know how to utilize him because nobody could throw him the ball. But Pickens is the most talented receiver in the Cowboys right now. I don't see him. No. Come on,
dude. I don't even know how you could say that.
All right. We have time for one more, I think. We've only gone through 2.
Wait, do we have another topic or something? I mean,
this was fun.
Well, I had 4, so I'll cut one off. Would you rather be the Colts or the Broncos?
Ooh.
Oh, that's easy.
Really? Yep. Okay.
That's a good one.
So how about you know what, Jonathan? How about you start off?
Jonathan, go ahead.
The Colts are 4-1. The Broncos are 3-2, 2-3.
No.
The Broncos?
Yeah. Broncos are 3-2.
The Broncos are 3-2.
Broncos are 3-2. Colts are 4-1.
4-1. Okay.
So the Colts The Broncos just beat the Eagles, and the Colts just beat the Raiders. So who would you rather be, the Colts or the Broncos? Jonathan, start us off.
This is a really good one, okay? But I'm going to have to go with the Colts because the Colts are looking good on all fronts, okay? The defense, Jonathan Taylor in the running game, Daniel Jones is looking lights out. This team looks unstoppable. This team looks like AFC contenders, okay, in terms of AFC championship contenders, okay? Colts, Broncos, don't get me wrong, this is a tough one. Broncos are looking good. They beat the Eagles, but the Eagles laid an egg. And so the Broncos always have a good defense, but I don't think they would be able to keep up in terms of points with the Colts. The Colts can score points on all fronts. The Colts.
Yeah, so that's wrong. Broncos. the Broncos, they just beat the Eagles. Eagles are the best team, Super Bowl champs. So they just beat the Super Bowl champs. Colts would get destroyed.
Cowboys almost beat them.
No, but you didn't. So Broncos are way better. Broncos defense held Jamar Chase and the Bengals to 3 points.
The Bengals suck.
Is that with Browning?
No, but the Lions just allowed Chase to go 2 touchdowns over 100 yards. So the Broncos defense is way better. Plus, okay, yeah, the Colts might be in a better situation long term because, look, they play in a shitty division. But honestly, the Texans are coming. The Texans are coming. The Texans look good right now.
Now you want
the Texans are coming. Watch out, Colts.
No,
I'm serious.
The Ravens suck, man. Don't get to see.
I didn't pick the Texans.
What?
I was hyping up the
Caleb
Texans.
and I picked Texans. You guys said they were in trouble.
They're in trouble. No, they're still in trouble.
No, they're in
The
trouble.
Ravens-
I'm not saying they're good.
The Ravens were that bad.
But the Texans are coming?
No, Texans aren't coming. No. Texans are not coming. The
going
Ravens
on?
were that bad. They
No,
didn't look good.
I'm just
Jared,
saying that the
come.
Texans are gonna. Okay, either way, look, Broncos are better than the Colts right now. Everybody knows that. They just beat the Eagles.
Dude, that was a good defensive game by them. But to reach certain levels in this league, you need to score points. And the Colts can do all that. The Colts can play defense, okay? They held the Raiders to 3 points today.
The Raiders are trash.
I want to put my vote in for the Colts.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not a Colts fan whatsoever. I despise Daniel Jones, as many of you know. But, big but, Broncos are not good. And Bo Nix, I am not a Bo Nix believer. Believe it or not, I am not a Bo Nix believer.
Why not?
He is, dare I say, average. He's an average quarterback.
He's better than JJ McCarthy.
Oh,
He is a average quarterback. We're talking about the Broncos. He can run, yeah, average. He can throw, very average. His deep ball is one of the worst in the league. You got to look at the film. It's awful. And he lost them the game against the Chargers. They lost to the Chargers on a game-winning field goal. Bo Nix missed at least 4 players downfield that could have went right into the end zone for a touchdown. So he lost them that game, and I'm sure he lost them many other games because they lost on a game-winning field goal against the Colts. Or they would have. Yeah, they would have lost on one of the Colts. It just, there was a flag. So there are multiple games that where you just look at Bo Nix and you're like, why is everyone crowning him like this? Like, yeah,
he's clutch.
I don't think he is because against the Chargers he was terrible.
He scored 18 points in the fourth.
Well, last year he put up
scored
much
18 points with the Eagles scoring 0.
You
just get the freaking.
He went to the playoffs as a rookie,
and the Eagles went 3 and out. Freaking 4 or 5 times.
He's not the most talented, but he's scrappy. He'll do what it takes to win.
But that's what you call somebody that's not good. Like when you say that he's scrappy, that means that he's actually not a talented player. You wouldn't call Lamar scrappy. You wouldn't call Josh Allen scrappy.
They actually both are scrappy.
You wouldn't call them that. You would call them dual threat.
Yeah.
You know? Let me just redo my thing. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm actually not a Bo Nix believer. I am not a Daniel Jones believer at all by any front. But I think the Broncos have a way tougher schedule. So going off from this standpoint, I would say the Colts have the better red carpet rolled out for them. I hate to say it, but yeah, Bo Nix. I'm not a Bo Nix guy. Sorry, Caleb.
Let me build off because before John, I think John, you have a good take. to come. But I'll say I'll pick the Colts as well. Similar for Jared's reasons is like maybe I'm bitter on the Broncos being dark horses for so long and they haven't. I also said the same for the Colts, so I'm not like super bullish on either. Thing with Bo Nix, okay, before the season, you can look this up, but before the season, I drafted Bo Nix. I looked into this. They're supposed to have one of the best offensive lines in the league. And I'm not saying they don't, but like, okay, they're supposed to have one of the top 5 offensive lines, one of the top, I think, 3 defenses. And with stuff like that, I would expect them. I know I defended them, I think, last week, but I would expect more offensively from Bo Nix because last year I think he gave a lot more offensive firepower. I don't know what it is this season because yes, they beat the Eagles, but it's 21 points. Like they're playing like a veteran QB I'd expect to play, like keeping the ceiling low versus the way I thought he was going to be like playing. I think with Jackson Dart there was a higher ceiling, like in a little sample size I've seen. So I think you have to contend with the Colts offensively. If Jonathan Taylor stays healthy, if Daniel Jones stays healthy. If both of them stay healthy, they'll blow out the Broncos. You know, if it was head to head. But yeah, that was I agree with mostly what Jared everything was saying, but just like that, I expected more from the Broncos. I don't know if it's Sean Payton. Sean Payton's a great coach, but whatever the Colts are doing has been working, and you have to bet against them falling off for some reason other than injury. And I'm like maybe because I like Daniel Jones, but it could happen.
And Taylor, like that's the one thing with the Broncos, you don't have like that one superstar, dude. Jonathan Taylor, take a day off for once.
Yeah, he's good.
I had to face him this week. He murdered
how many points did he get?
Like 30.
He was having fun too. He was dancing every time he had a new dance every time he's going to the end.
It looks so easy. Look at Madden. It's
ridiculous. Most we were split there, Broncos and Colts, or no?
Well, John, I think
Caleb, who did you go with?
I went Colts.
Yeah, so on all 3, I was the only one.
The lone wolf. Wow, I did not expect that because the last time we did a game like this, we were split 50-50 each time.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
That's good. I can't wait to be right.
In all 3.
All 3, yep.
All right, we'll book it.
Remember this moment. The Colts are bad. They will find a way to mess this up. Trust me. They're 4-1 in the division. I promise you, they'll find a way to lose this.
Texans are winning.
I know you're a Giants fan and you hate Daniel Jones because he left, but like, come on, man.
No, I respect it. They're just not good. I know what's going to happen.
You don't think they'll make because playoffs messing? I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl.
Dude, they have such an easy schedule. They'll probably make playoffs. But I'm just saying
that's got to be a success for the season.
First
year with a new quarterback.
No, but with the schedule that they have and the record they have right now, they should win the division. If they don't, that's really bad.
So what would be the standard of success for the Colts?
You need to win the division.
Okay.
Win the division and win one playoff game. Because you win the division, you're going to have a home playoff game, win one playoff game. Then I'll say I was all wrong about the Colts. They're not going to win a playoff game. They're either going to mess up this division or they're going to lose the playoffs or both.
I mean, you might, again, Sam Darnold last year was killing it till the middle of the season. So you might. But what would the standard of success be for the Broncos?
I would say you got to win a playoff game because you don't necessarily have to win the division, but you got to win a playoff game. I mean, because they made the playoffs last year, so I want to see a step up.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. Well, that concludes Week 5 recap episode. That was filled with a lot of debate. I love it.
It was good. I feel awake. Got some of my angst out from the Eagles loss.
Yeah, it feels good to do it right on Sunday, like to just get it out right away. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you haven't already, go over to our YouTube and our TikTok at Dorn Bay Podcast. So us follow over on there. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube. We just hit 5,100. Pretty crazy.
Let's go.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much again for watching. And as always, we will see you guys next week.